Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we are going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons, and we're going to talk about Arbor Adventures. And currently the empath assassin is in Phandalin, and he has gone with woodcutter leader Demeth and to help protect the covered wagon that is bringing in 30,000 gold pieces, which is 3 months of pay for all of the Phandalin woodcutters who cut wood in the Neverwinter forest and send it to Neverwinter and Waterdeep. And this 30,000 is just what they're being paid from Waterdeep, right? So essentially, payroll is coming in, right? This is like the heat heist, right? And Dastin, Gamalga, Vo, Olsenai are all there, right? And what's interesting is, and at this point, woodcutter leader Demeth threatens Vo, who is visible, right? Combat ensues because Vo immediately, Demeth is like, you need to go to Vo, saying your scouting is done. But Vo is a Waterdeep mercenary, right? He literally kicks woodcutter leader Demeth down, and then and that's in like the first round, right? And then at that point we start going around, right? And Vo has kicked down the Waterdeep leader Demeth and knocked him prone. Okay. At that point, immediately, combat ensues. Another round goes where. And at that point, Gamalga, Dastin, and Olsenai appear, right? And they're ready for combat. Their weapons are drawn, and this activates the empath assassin, and he draws his blade and begins to go into combat, right? However, basically there are no, so one of the limitations of Thove, the hate of Vecna cursed dagger that the empath assassin carries, is that right now he's never thrown this blade, which means that he's got to get in melee contact to actually attack a character. Now, yeah. So at that point, we start the next round. Waterdeep leader Demeth gets back on his feet, and Vo, the Waterdeep mercenary, goes next, and he steps right into into Woodcutter Ort, right, the one who introduced empath assassin to Waterdeep leader Demeth, and he puts two hatchets right in his chest, puts one in his shoulder and one in his heart, kills him dead, right? And so, like, right now, I think this is when the empath assassin is like, oh, this is real, man. This is on. And there's 4 Waterdeep mercenaries that are there and gotta be handled. So immediately, empath assassin moves forward and he stabs Olsenai. Okay. Now Olsenai is he hits him, right? And I'm using the Ronin attack block, the Ronin stat block from the I'm using the Ronin stat block for these Waterdeep mercenaries, and they only have 10 hit points. Now, they are very dangerous. They have some really dangerous tactics. The Ronin stat block from Crown and Skull, right? And they can attack, and their attacks are deadly, but they only have 10 hit points, right? Now, the hate of Vecna does so. The first roll from the Golden Dragon Master with his empath assassin is a 4 to 2, so he only does 6 points of damage, right? Now we look it up, and with bleed, that's going to happen again on the next round, which means that Olsenai is going to drop dead on the next round. Okay, so then with that, Dastin comes in, and Dastin comes in and kills one of the. Dastin is the leader of this Waterdeep mercenary, and he's also an elf. And he kills an unnamed woodcutter. Okay. Then one of the other Waterdeep mercenaries attacks one of the woodcutters, but misses. Right, and actually, that's not actually. This is really interesting. You cannot miss in Crown and Skull. So how would you get a miss? Right. Well, you need to roll. So you don't roll. You never roll it to hit. Okay, but characters have a defense. Right. So let's say your defense is 3, but your damage is 1. That's a miss. Right. It literally means your damage is below the defense. Right. So there's never a to hit roll. It just means that your defense is so feeble that it's ignored. That's it. Okay. All right. So you can actually have a miss within Crown and Skull, but it's not because you missed the to hit roll. It's that the damage you rolled is literally beneath the defense of the person you're hitting, which is fairly rare. That it's very rare, right? So one of the Waterdeep mercenaries has a functional miss, right? And then we get back to the Empath Assassin. The Empath Assassin then moves on another one of the Waterdeep mercenaries, and he stabs him, and we roll, and it's 12 damage right out of the gate, right? And at that point, it's that guy just dies outright. There's no bleed, right? And at this point, that guy drops dead. Dynast immediately, stops, and there's a moment, right? Literally, one of the Waterdeep mercenaries has been stabbed, another one has been killed, and there's this fistful of dollars silence moment where Dynast is like, okay, we came here to surreptitiously steal these gold pieces. We can't fight every woodcutter in the city, right? And woodcutters are going to start coming here. And so Dynast says, will you allow us to remove our dead, right? And the Empath Assassin is like, you have to give me your name. Tell me your name and I'll let you take your dead. And Dynast is like, no, I'm not going to give you my name. And then and he says, but I'm also not going to continue this fight because we're not going to get what we need, and we're not going to lose any more lives unnecessarily. Now, what's interesting is at this point, the dead character remains with the Empath Assassin. Ulsanai runs off with Dynast and Vo. But what's interesting is Ulsanai is about to die. So Ulsanai died off camera from the bleed, right? So basically, Dynast and Vo are running through the town of Phandalin, and they don't even realize it, but Ulsanai literally drops dead behind them, right? And so they're skirting off to the ruins, or the areas just over some hills where they can hide quickly, right? But essentially, this was the first combat, the first Crown and Skull combat that we had in this campaign. And also, I did miss one. We did get, so the Empath Assassin was attacked successfully by Ulsanai before he hit Ulsanai, right? And Ulsanai did 3, before Ulsanai died, and Ulsanai did 3 points of damage to the Empath Assassin. And what was really interesting was he got rid of and so basically, whenever you take hit points in Crown and Skull, you have to get rid of and this is the least damaging type of attrition in Crown and Skull, which means whenever you take hit points, you have to pay for them with skills that no longer work until you're healed, or with equipment that is damaged, or equipment that is destroyed, right? And so he got to choose, and so he chose investigation, and he chose courtier, and he chose streetwise, right? So those skills are not functioning at the end of this combat, and in the next session we'll actually start to deal with healing. And the way healing works in Crown and Skull is you get 1 point of heal immediately on a short rest, right? And on a long rest, you get D4 healing, but that long rest needs to be in a safe place where you're not under attack, right? And so it's pretty awesome, and it was really very good combat. The other thing, so really, the Waterdeep mercenaries clash with the leader of the woodcutters, 4 woodcutters, and one empath assassin. The empath assassin killed two of the Waterdeep mercenaries, right? In just 2 rounds of combat, killed 1 person per round, like, which is pretty incredible. So this curse dagger is extremely dangerous, right? So that is, and actually that's all the action that happened within. That's all the story that happened within session 2, and I just wanted to say thank you for letting me share this epic story happening in Arbor Adventure with the Empath Assassin. Thank you for letting me share the tale of the Empath Assassin with you. Every single word you just heard is my humble opinion on the best parts of Arbor Adventure Session 2. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion on Forgotten Realms, on Crown and Skull, on Dungeons and Dragons, and on your current adventures. Please consider liking, subscribing, and have a fetch millennium.